Hello there. More suitable would be hello there. Whether pasta, bread, or tea, the current energy crisis does not stop at the prices for staple foods in British supermarkets. It's getting more expensive every month. Food prices have risen sharply in the UK compared to last year. The British Statistics Office ONS reported that the cheapest vegetable oil costs around two-thirds, that means 65%, more in September than in the same month last year. The cheapest pasta has become 60% more expensive, tea 46%, and bread 38%. On average, prices for 30 staple foods rose 17%, slightly more than food inflation over the period of 15%. The recent rise in customer prices has been triggered by rising energy prices, said National Statistician Ian Diamond. That would now affect other important things like staple foods. However, prices fell for four of the products examined. For example, 9% less had to be paid for the cheapest fruit juice than in September's 2021, and 7% less for minced beef. Inflation in the UK was 10.1%, the highest in 40 years. In many other countries, including Germany, consumer prices have recently risen sharply, mainly because of the Russian war of aggression against Ukraine, but on a very different level than in the UK. After the failure of his predecessor, the new British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak promised when he took office, that the enormous problems in the country would be tackled. Mistakes were made, said Sunak in his first speech in Downing Street, referring to Liz Truss's short tenure. She had failed with her radical economic policy after only about 6 weeks. And Sunak wants to repair the damage, he says. We will see. At the beginning of the week, the Conservative Party appointed Sunak as the new party leader and thus also as Prime Minister. King Charles III officially tasked him with forming a government at Buckingham Palace on Tuesday morning. Sunak is the first Indian-born British head of government and also the youngest Prime Minister in more than 200 years. The father of two daughters has made an unprecedented rise. Elected to the Parliament for the first time in 2015, he moved to Downing Street just 7 years later, faster than anyone else in recent history. He is the third Prime Minister in just 2 months, though, after Truss became the shortest-serving Prime Minister in history, and still well paid afterwards. Nevertheless, she defended her policy once again on Tuesday morning before formally handing in her resignation in an audience with King Charles. From my time as Prime Minister, I am more convinced than ever that we must be brave in the face of challenges we face, said Truss. She still believes in economic growth through low taxes, and Great Britain must use its Brexit freedoms. What a bull. Truss had triggered turbulence on the financial markets with radical tax reforms that were to be financed solely with new debt. After harsh criticism, including within her own ranks, she had to backtrack. Her authority was damaged. Sunak promised the country more stability in a serious economic crisis, but also warned that difficult decisions would have to be made. And yes, there will have to be very difficult decisions in the interest of the country. And I'm not often with what Social Democrats say, but I'm here with Keir Starmer at the moment. It is to be feared that Rishi Sunak, with that cabinet, with the current division in Parliament, with the way the Tory party is at the moment, that he will just continue the ideological Conservatives' first policy of all his predecessors the last 12 years. That shit got us into Brexit. Don't forget that one. In the next days, I will get to another timetable again, because it's important to remind everybody how today's shit show started. And as I said, I'm there with Starmer to think that without general elections, the same will go on. There will be changes in fiscal policy, but no changes, no real good changes for the people in real need in Britain at the moment. And I'll see you in my next video. I'll be back.